This is number 5, this is mint, and I'm just going to pick the mint out. It's sitting in quite a shady corner, it's quite happy in the shade. I'll pick it out so you can see. And we're growing our mint in quite a large pot. This is about a 24-inch pot, I would say, 1824, big old terracotta pot. It's wonderfully rampant mint. It's that sort of essence, you can crush it. It smells fresh, doesn't it? We all know it from every morning when we clean our teeth. But what's interesting about this is the reason you never should plant mint in your garden. It's a real thug. If you plant mint once, you're going to have it forever. It will escape. If you insist on putting it in the garden, get yourself a plastic pot, cut the bottom off, keep it about 2 inches out of the ground and put the mint in that so it doesn't escape. It spreads by underground runners, and wherever those roots go or those runners, it will spread. I don't know whether we can focus right down here. This on the bottom is a drainage hole, and as we can see, this mint, where it's come out the drainage hole, is looking to escape. This is like Steve McQueen in The Great Escape. I often sort of, when I look at my mint, hear the thumping of the ball against the wall. Beautiful plant, lots of different varieties. This is an apple mint. You can get spearmint, you can get aniseed flavoured mints. We should all have at least one mint. It's good for that sort of slightly dark, slightly shady corner of your garden. It'll sit towards the back of your balcony. If you're around on a balcony, it'll sit towards the back corner of your patio. Keep it moister than the other herbs. Again, the same as parsley, which was the first in this 5. Feed it about every 2 weeks to 2.5, 3 weeks. With a weak fertiliser, it'll be as happy as Larry. The more you keep it cut down, the better. The other thing you'll notice, as we've said before, if you grow your own herbs, on mint, this stalk is much tougher than what you buy in the supermarket. That's because it's actually not being forced, therefore you get more intense flavours within here. And with a lot of the herbs, you better, when they say cook with it, not to cook with it, but to put it in right at the last minute, so those oils just infuse into your food. One of my favourite things to do with this mint is I tend to have a pea, broad bean and mint sauce with a pasta, which is just delicious. And we'll get that recipe up. In fact, we'll probably cook it later today, and I'll show you exactly what I mean about getting that mint into some of your flavours. As with all our homegrown herbs, the stems on some of this are much, much tougher than the ones you'll buy in the shop. It's not grown hydroponically, it's not forced under lights, which means there's a much more intensity of flavour. One of my favourite things to do with mint is we tend to use it in a pea, broad bean and mint sauce that works brilliantly with pasta. It's one of the recipes that we have on our website. It brings an intensity of flavour that very few other herbs do to the size. I think that's probably my local RAF station, I would hope. I don't think I'm being invaded, but you never know. So that's the last of the first 5. We'll just let them pass over. I think it's probably the best. In fact, it's not the local RAF station. They seem quite interested. They're hovering above us. Perhaps they subscribe to Learn How to Garden. You never know. That's the last of the first 5. So we've covered parsley, sage, rosemary, thyme and mint. In the next 5 we'll be covering chives, French tarragon, marjoram, bay and coriander. And there's a separate one entirely, we're going to be covering basil. Basil is a herb, as we know, but it's quite special in the way that we grow it very differently to other things, and the amount we use and how we grow it. So I hope you've enjoyed that sort of quick run through of the 5 sort of most commonly used culinary herbs. And until next time, that's Mark from learnhowtogarden.com saying thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoyed what we're doing.